My mantra for motherhood is do what works until it doesn't. That's what I did. I just watched my video about things that I was gonna do differently with baby number 2. Didn't do some of those things. And so that's kind of how I want to start the video. These are just ideas. I'm gonna try and do that differently. It'll be interesting to see if I actually do these things differently. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, kind of natural, kind of hippie granola. We focus on mindset because mindset and motherhood is crucial to surviving. Please comment below with any other videos that you'd like to see. I want to make sure that I'm creating content that you're looking for because I got lots of things in my head, but I don't know what's in your head. I created a mindset flip book, so it asks you positive mindset prompts. If you're watching this because you're pregnant and you're about to be in motherhood and you start to have a tough time, think about this mindset flip book because sometimes postpartum, we can get stuck in a little bit of a negative loop. I have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and I am 38 weeks pregnant with our third. I'm in kind of like a goofy mood right now. I'm 37 weeks pregnant. When this goes out, I'll be 38. I'm just getting close. My sister is due like next week. In my mind, for some reason, I'm like on her timeline, which I'm not. I went with my girls due date, day after due date. I never really had Braxton Hicks, but the signs of labor were similar between the two, so I'm just curious how this is all about to go down. Today, I'm going to tell you about the things that I'm doing differently with baby number 3. Or I have to do that differently because now I have 3 instead of 2. I mean, you always think about it, right? You're like, okay, what worked last time? What didn't work? What did I stress about that ended up being just fine, which is like 95% of the things. You're like, oh, I have to do this now or my baby's going to be ruined. And then you don't do it then and your baby's not ruined, you know? But I'm going to kind of talk to you about categories. So I'm going to tell you the things that I will do differently or that I plan to do differently, and then things that I'm going to do the same. Thing number 1, feeding. I exclusively breastfed both girls until like 18 months. My girls did not take Nooks. They did not take bottles. And I night weaned them to get my period back to get pregnant, got pregnant, and then could not continue breastfeeding through pregnancy. Like it was just like, ugh. So I think this is our last baby. And so I'll probably breastfeed them a little longer just because I won't have to stop when I'm pregnant, but we'll see. My girls love feeding babies bottles. I did not have to pump. So now I'm trying to get my mind right. Haka is a brand that is incredible. It's out of New Zealand. It sponsored this video. Haka brand specifically has like really good grade silicone. This is the OG Haka. Peel down, you squeeze, you stick it on your boob, you pull this over so it makes a good solid suction. Nurse your baby on this side. Treat this like a pump because I gave myself an oversupply the first time because I was just like, oh, I'm just catching drip. No, I wasn't. I was pulling milk down like a shower head. It was shocking. I was like, Seth, come look at this. It was incredible. The second time around, I got the ladybug. It just sits in your bra. So we'll just pretend that that's actually on my nipple. Done. There's like a tiny section, but it's not pulling. It's just collecting. Then you take this out when you're done. There's a little tab where you can pour it out. This time around is colostrum collectors. I've never collected colostrum ever. I'm a big, as soon as that baby comes out, they're nursing. There's a smell that your nipple releases that's similar to the amniotic fluid that makes them just go to your nipple. It's bizarre. Some babies can't latch, or if your baby needs to go into the NICU. If you collect some colostrum beforehand, while you're still pregnant, which you need to ask your doctor about because that's nipple stimulation. Nipple stimulation can cause labor, so ask your doctor. Then you can have this ready because colostrum is like the first bit of milk that you get. It has a ton of antibiotics. It seeds the gut biome for your baby when they first come out. I saw somebody write a review on this that the NICU nurses were really impressed with how this was designed because it was so easy to feed that baby. I love the brand in general. They have lots of stuff. I know these 3 items the best, but I would highly recommend Haka. I have used them for all 3 and love them and give them as gifts to people. With my first, and I think this is so common for people, sleep is just the most triggering and anxiety producing thing ever. This is the thing that I've been stressing out the whole time. My girls still co-sleep. They go to bed in their bed, but at some point during the night, they come into our bed. I love it, but I have to keep this baby safe too. My midwife actually just told me to get one of these. It lays flat and it lays in your bed. There's this is too big for it. I'll have to take this off when they get here, but it lays completely flat. And that way they can be in my bed, but if the girls are in my bed, the baby's still safe. So I feel a lot better actually now that I've gotten that. We're gonna start doing sleep sacks instead of blankets and all that. There's so much information around sleep and how to do it right and how you're gonna ruin your baby if you don't do it this way. I think that caused a lot of my postpartum anxiety, depression that I didn't realize I had until I had my second. For the first 4 months, your baby just falls asleep wherever they want. They have 2 sleep cycles, awake and asleep. At 4 months, they go through a 4-month sleep regression, which is just them moving to an adult sleep cycle. So they have light sleep now. So now they're not just awake and asleep. I forgot about that. Oh, the first 4 months, they're just like, they just fall asleep. After 4 months, that's when you kind of need to start figuring out like, okay, am I going to put them down for a nap? Am I going to try and get them in their own room? I just like wore my baby, the second one, literally all the time. She would fall asleep in the carrier. She'd wake up in the carrier. She'd fall asleep in the, like she was just on me all the time, which worked out really well. I was hands-free. Baby was so happy and content because she was on me. Toddler was happy because I was like hands-free and able to like do everything with her. My mantra for motherhood is do what works until it doesn't. That's what I did. The third thing, stuff. I don't have anything. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. We have cloth diapers. We've got disposables until they're like 8 pounds. And with your first, you obviously have no baby things. So like you need to get like clothes and a swing. And I just would recommend getting secondhand stuff. Mamaroo is like something that people swore by. They were like, the Mamaroo's the best thing ever. My baby hated it. Cheap swing, money. I use the Baby Bjorn bouncer with my second. They love that, but like for 2 months. So I might just borrow that from my friend. Plan on baby wearing. We've got clothes. It's like, I don't know. We also have a fairly small house, so like I don't want a lot of stuff. But because I think this is our last, I'm like really excited for the purge. Oh, you're 3 months old now. We're getting rid of all the 0 to 3 clothes. You don't use this swing anymore. Gone. That is gonna be whoo! I can't wait for that. Really excited for that. And then just like this time around, I just don't have as much stress. I have not been checking the app. I think that's pretty common, like with subsequent pregnancies. You're just like, they're the size of a what? I don't know. I just have the mindset of do what works until it doesn't. We don't need things until we need things. Like if something comes up, then we're gonna handle it. But I'm not gonna worry about those things until they come up and we need to worry about it, right? Right. I plan on nursing. If that doesn't go well, then I'll buy some stuff for that. I'm not that stressed about it because I just know that things work out like after having 2. Another thing, I know that my mindset has to be right for this third baby. I have stressed about it. Mindset is going to be everything. So I will journal about this. I will journal about my ideal labor. I will journal about why I am grateful to be in this position, who I'm going to be when I feel overwhelmed, how to make sure that I just am the best version that I can be to keep my mind in the right headspace and not just like get completely engulfed in the stress of it. I will have a guide before the end of the month about when is like a good time to journal, the most efficient way to journal to like rewire your brain, and prompts. The prompts can be exactly the same every single day. It doesn't have to be complicated, but there are pitfalls. So if you're writing like, I wish I was blah, 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 don't do that. If you want to get on the email list to know when it comes out, you can go to HEYSHAYLA.com/email. So a lot of stuff I'm going to do the same has to do with me, right? So let's start with labor. Labor, if I could do my number 2 over again, I would. We did hypnobirthing. If you want a natural birth, and if you're into like meditation or yoga or just like getting in a good headspace, I would highly recommend hypnobabies. Did it with the first 2, absolutely doing it with this one. I haven't been practicing as much, but I'm hoping that it's like riding a bike and that it'll just guide me through and then I'll just get through it. It's a whole course that teaches you about like the options of labor and what's gonna happen, and then there's the audio that you listen to. We're just releasing everything and relaxing, and so that way your body doesn't tense up with the contractions. It lets the contractions wave over you and go away. Because if you are afraid, you're telling your body this is not a safe place to give birth. Your cervix closes, but your body's still ready to push this baby out, so it's contracting. Contracting on a closed cervix, pain. If you're like, okay, I'm ready, let's do this, helps you to relax so that cervix opens so that it pushes your baby out. I trust my body, this is gonna be fine. Obviously there's things that can happen, but you have to just go in and be like, all right, here we go. The uterus does like 90% of the work of pushing your baby out. You just need to give it a little assist at the end. And that was what I did differently with my second, because I was not doing the purple push where they're like, push, and I was like, rah! I feel like men can relate to this the most. When you're pooping and you're sitting there just waiting for 45 minutes for that poop to be ready to come out. If you start pushing when you first sit down, you're gonna be pushing for 45 minutes. If you wait for your body, you'll have a final moment where it's like, rah! And your body just like pushes and you poop. That's what labor can be like, and that's what it was for my second. I just like waited and waited and waited, and then my body just started pushing. My primal sounds went from to and like that's when my midwife was like, oh, we're ready to push. I gave it the assist and out she came. Trust that your body knows when to push and it will start pushing. Give it the assist. So I did hypnobirthing and I did a water birth. With my first, I had to get out of the water to deliver. With my second, I could deliver in the tub. With this one, I have the option to deliver in the tub. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm not like so clingingly attached to that, but I want the option to be able to stay in the tub if I'm feeling it. If I'm not, and I get out, fine. Pregnancy and postpartum workout. You literally start their workouts the day after you deliver. So we're talking about pelvic floor, 4 minutes of exercises, stretching, different things. Like they're like, oh, you're gonna be breastfeeding, so let's like make sure that we do lots of strengthening of your upper back and stretching of your upper back so that you're not sore. I did it with the first two in pregnancy and postpartum. I consumed my placenta. I did not do it with my first, did it with my second. Seth will tell you in the same breath, he'll go, everyone should do it. He thinks it's absolutely disgusting, but he saw how much of a difference my first and my second postpartum was. And for me, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You have to bring cooler to the hospital, call your person, be like, all right, I'm delivering. Then they'll come pick up your cooler, like a drug deal or something. Dehydrate it, put it in little pills, and you consume it. It helps regulate your hormones. It helped me so much. I know some people have taken it and then it doesn't work. It can affect their supply. It can make them feel crazy. But again, I would rather have it and be like, okay, this is not working, than to feel crazy and not have that as an option. There's my 2 cents on consuming your placenta. And a lot of people are like, we're the only mammals that don't consume our placenta. I wasn't super on board with that. I was like, yeah, but like, we don't have other creatures that are smelling fresh babies that want to come eat it. But then they did an experiment where they took a mom, a baby, and a placenta, and they separated the baby from the placenta. So mom went to the placenta, ate it, and then went back to the baby. Okay. All right, sold. You got me there. Probiotics. I take probiotics during pregnancy, postpartum, and I give them to my baby. They're little drops you can either put in the bottle or right on your nip, especially if you had to have antibiotics during labor, which is like 30% of women. You want to make sure that you're taking probiotics and that you're giving them to your baby to help them with their brand new gut biome. The breast milk's gonna help a ton. Probiotics are just an extra thing that I like to do. Chiropractor once a week. This time I have pubic symphysis something where my pubic bone is just like, yeah, nah. I didn't have that in my other ones, and I just like to keep everything in line. Stuff is moving because you've got that hormone that makes everything just kind of loosey-goosey, so I just like to keep it all in line. It helps with any sort of aches and pains. They use K-tape on my belly when my belly button starts getting sensitive. They can do an epidural spot, so if your epidural pain is sensitive, they can use K-tape for that. It's awesome. And baby, I bring baby to the chiropractor afterwards. There's lots of things that can happen in labor. One of my kids always tilted their head one way. They helped to kind of like straighten that out. I will absolutely baby wear if this baby lets me, because that was such a godsend the first time. And then we're gonna do cloth diapers and elimination communication and co-sleeping. Floor bed, we have one, so they'll probably nap there. And breastfeeding, if all goes well there. TBD on the bottles. I really am not looking forward to that, but I think my girls would love it, so we'll see. Okay, that's all I've got for you. I hope this was helpful. Please comment below with any other videos that you'd like to see. A lot of these videos have been geared towards like pregnancy and babies, and I feel like my audience is a lot of moms who had babies with me the first time. So they're like, I have a 4-year-old. I don't care what you're doing differently with your third, unless they're also thinking about their third. But I just want to make sure that I'm creating content that you're looking for, because I got lots of things in my head, but I don't know what's in your head. Let me know, and I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.